property to me. I remember it was in the morning time, and I picked up Perman and took him to Wilkinson's office on Church Street. Wilkinson was not there, and some papers were brought out by a Chinese-looking girl. Perman signed a conveyance, then I signed, both in the presence of this lady. I remember space on the conveyance for 3 people, myself, Perman, and Wilkinson. Only me and Perman signed. I have been shown a conveyance dated 15th of April, 1969, and I believe this is the document I signed. I signed my name, John Augustus. I was in the office only 10 minutes. I signed only once, and the girl kept the papers. I never gave Perman any money during any part of this transaction. I had no idea that the land belonged to a John Virgil. Perman told me he was the owner of the property. He didn't read the conveyance for sale to me. I just signed. I did know John Virgil, but never realized it was his property I was buying from Perman. Perman never at any time showed me any deeds, sales agreements, or anything else showing that he owned the property. I accepted that John Swan was dealing as agent for me, and he would know this. When I went to the property, there was nothing there. There were no stakes there which would show that the property was divided up. And Perman did tell me at this time that the property would be divided into 8 lots. And he gave me an idea where the lots would be on each side of a road which would be built there. The road wasn't there then. The whole area was just a wilderness. I'm sure this was in November and before December 1968, when Perman approached me and showed me the property. When John Swan went with me to the property, that was before Christmas, before anything was put on the land. There was trees and nothing else. I would further say that with regard to the sales agreement dated 19th of February 1969, I don't remember ever signing such agreement because this man Brown was never present at any time. I do remember the yellow sheet of paper I took to John Swan. This was a small sheet of yellow paper. On the 25th of October 1976, I obtained from Peter Smith, barrister, a copy of conveyance dated 21st of May 1970 and a sketch plan of the property. I have handed these documents to Sergeant Casson. I have also handed to Sergeant Casson a letter copy dated April 15, 1969 from Russell Perman, April 25th, 1969 from Russell Perman to David E. Wilkinson. A letter dated the 20th of June, 1969 from John Swan to Wilkinson. An original agreement between myself and John Swan dated 17th of July, 1969. Also, a document dated October 1st, 1969, an agreement between John Swan and myself. On May 21st, 1970, an agreement which me and John Swan had about this property was finished, and he took complete control of the property for payment to me of $60,000. This was handled by Peter Smith offices. The document dated 15th of April, 1969, copy conveyance, handed to Sergeant Casson, I got from D. Wilkinson's office on the 22nd of October, 1976. I would further say, when Mrs. Brown contacted me, and I went to Wilkinson's office on the 22nd of October, 76, I saw the girl at the office who was present on the 15th of April, 1969. I told her I remembered her, but she denied this, saying she wasn't working there at the time. She said, I must have made a mistake because these papers must have been done at Appleby, Sperling, and Kemp. I know she was the lady me and Perman dealt with on the 15th of April, 1969, This same lady brought out the conveyance on the 22nd of October, 1976, which she had brought out to me and Pearman on the 15th of April, 1969. That concludes the statement from Manuel.
And just for completeness, at the end of that statement you have read, what appears at the foot of the document?
At the foot of the document, it says signed, John Augustus, signature witnessed by T. Casson, SGT 55.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, in reference to your schedule of evidence, as you have referred to it, CNLB number 7, exhibit number 7, what's the purpose that you place reliance on that document that was just read?
The witness statement from Emmanuel Augustus provides us with insight into the role that Emmanuel Augustus played in the claim of ownership by John W. Swan. It also lets us know that Russell Pearman had an appetite to do things in his own way. And it also points us to the view that Emmanuel Augustus trusted John Swan to conduct himself appropriately in this matter.
Thank you. Now, take you to items M and N as referenced in your schedule of evidence.
Yes.
Crave indulgence. Madam Chair.
Counsel, I was just writing your note. Counsel?
Yes, Madam Chair. I was just wondering how late were you?
I was just
Francis.
writing your note to say that we should stop at a convenient point, certainly no later than 3:45, because of the number of administrative matters we have to deal with, and if witnesses have to be dewarned, et cetera, et cetera. How much longer do you think Mr. Brown is likely to be?
Certainly cannot finish within the next 15 minutes. He will be required to return another day because
Right.
we have some way to go still.
You have some way to go still, Mr. Brown, and how many more witnesses do you wish to call?
We will. I don't believe we'll be asking for any more than the three of us to possibly speak.
Another 3 witnesses?
No. Him, including the 2 of them, and probably he had mentioned that maybe his mother, but unlikely. But these are the witnesses, Madam Chair.
Okay.
These are they.
Can we break for a few minutes so that we could just talk about it?
Sure.
Maybe we could go in there with commissioners and just talk about going forward. If you give us a few minutes, Mr. Brown, I don't want to air this publicly.
We should go around, I think.
Excuse me. Huh?
Paperwork we need for your application is in between someone's office, so don't want to double check, to make sure that we get it sorted today, so we should get today as that.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Council, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I thank you for the time provided. In the interim, I sought to ascertain the matters which we have set for the rest of the week, and a determination was made based on the anticipated time that would be left for these witnesses, including presentation by them, questions by me, and also from the commissioners. I am proposing at this stage, Madam Chair, that based on where we are now, I am aware that tomorrow there are two matters set. One matter in the morning at 9:30. That matter I do not believe should be longer than an hour. I do not believe so. We have a second matter in the afternoon, which is at 1:30. I'm therefore proposing, Madam Chair, in order to conclude this claim on this matter, that this matter could be set for continuation at 10:45 tomorrow for us to continue and conclude. That's the proposal I make, subject to your consideration.
But council, remember that we have a plethora of adverse notices to be served, and we have to give those individuals an opportunity to be heard before we start asking questions. It seems to me that perhaps, I don't know what commissioners think, but perhaps we need to serve those adverse notices and hear, because people may come in with attorneys and that sort of thing. I don't know.
I don't disagree with that, Madam Chair. What I was thinking, however, is that the once served and once these persons appear, they too will be asking questions.
Okay.
And
So,
so it's just a process of completing that and sharing with them ultimately a transcript of the recording, because I'm certain that they're going to require one anyway. But I agree that it is unlikely that we will conclude with these witnesses tomorrow, but we do need some time to allow persons upon whom adverse notices are being served an opportunity to prepare themselves.
quite. So the suggestion then is that Mr. Brown and family, they can return tomorrow so that we have a 10:45 commencement.
Yes,
And
but
he will conclude his evidence, and
the
then.
caveat is,
Yes, and then we adjourn so that the adverse witnesses can appear.
If they
And
so wish.
if they so wish, and then we take it from there.
Yes, Madam.
Okay, very well. Thank you. So, Mr. Brown, Mrs. Brown, I should say, we are going to adjourn your matter now to 10:45 tomorrow morning. Of course, because of the debate and the uncertainty, if in fact our 9:30 matter, takes longer, then obviously we will have to adjourn your matter, because the other matters that have been scheduled, they have been scheduled for some time. And so we'll have to deal with them in the afternoon and ongoing. So
Understood.
10:45 in the morning then.
Certainly. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Appreciate it.
We'll adjourn for the day then, Madam Chair.